It's no secret that The Rock and John Cena had some genuine beef. The tension started in 2008 when Cena did a shoot interview accusing The Rock of using wrestling as a stepping stone to Hollywood. He questioned why The Rock couldn't fulfill his promise to guest host Raw or appear at WrestleMania, and expressed his frustration for The Rock's claims of loving the business but ditching it for Hollywood. Fast forward 10 years and we find ourselves looking back at a feud between two of the biggest wrestlers in the history of the business. The Rock returned to the ring after conquering Hollywood, and while he didn't need to come back, he did it for the fans, the people. Let's dive into the on-screen and behind-the-scenes story of how once in a lifetime turned into twice in a lifetime when two of the greatest superstars in wrestling history faced off at WrestleMania. Before we get to the meat and potatoes, let's give some background on John Cena's journey to facing The Rock. He entered the 2011 Royal Rumble to find CM Punk and the new Nexus waiting for him in the ring. They'd been feuding for some time, and Cena took the opportunity to take them all out of the Rumble, putting a nail into the coffin for their feud. Despite making it to the Final Four, Cena was eliminated by WWE Champion The Miz, who wasn't even in the match. Can somebody get the rulebook out? I'm sure that doesn't count, right? The next night on Raw, Cena took part in a 7-man battle royal to earn a shot at The Miz for the WWE Championship at the Elimination Chamber. Although he made it to the final stages of the battle royal, Cena was eliminated after Jerry the King Lawler accidentally hit Cena during an attack on Sheamus. It wasn't all curtains for Cena though, because the added stipulation for the battle royal was that all eliminated superstars would be added to the Elimination Chamber match that would determine the challenger for the WWE title at WrestleMania. At the Elimination Chamber, Cena came out on top after eliminating CM Punk to punch his ticket to WrestleMania against The Miz. Now, that's the story of Cena. What about The Rock? It all started on February 14th, 2011, when it came time to announce the host of WrestleMania 27. The lights went out and the screen started to show electricity, and then the Great One's music hit. After 7 long years, he finally returned to the WWE. I don't care what anyone says, we all waited for his comeback, and what a segment it was. During his promo, he called out John Cena in response to a shoot interview Cena did a couple of years ago. The Rock started laying into Cena, mocking the state of the company, going from the badass Austin 316 to the childish "you can't see me" and mentioned we can all see him and can't miss him, calling him a big fat bowl of fruity pebbles. And that was it. The foundations were laid for their feud. So Cena definitely had a response for the Great One. He dropped some bars on him, mainly poking fun at The Rock's Disney movies and pointing out that he left the WWE, claiming he loved them but not being there every week like Cena. The Rock couldn't take this lying down, so he responded via satellite. He wasn't happy about Cena questioning his love for the WWE, which was a big theme in their feud. But remember, The Rock left to make a name for himself in Hollywood without relying on his WWE career, and only returned after his big break in Fast 5. The Rock mentioned that he helped pave the way for other WWE superstars like Cena. Looking back, he wasn't wrong. That's precisely what he did. I mean, just look at Cena's success in Hollywood right now. You can't deny that The Rock's influence helped open the doors for him. The Rock ended his promo by announcing he'd meet Cena soon in the ring. Just 6 days before WrestleMania 27, The Rock and Cena finally came face to face. The Rock kicked things off by trash talking Cena, comparing him to a homeless Power Ranger, but Cena wasn't going to take that lying down, and he fired back with verbal jabs at the Great One. Neither man was willing to back down, and it seemed like they were about to throw down when The Miz and Alex Riley showed up. The Miz decided to join in on the trash talking, targeting both The Rock and Cena. Cena, not wanting to deal with it, left the ring to take a breather. The Miz and Alex Riley then teamed up to attack The Rock, but the Great One fought back. Taking out Riley, The Rock hit The Miz with the most electrifying move in all of sports entertainment, the People's Elbow, and tossed him out of the ring. But Cena had the last laugh, hitting The Rock with an AA. Cena drew first blood. At WrestleMania 27, the match between Cena and The Miz came to a disappointing end when both superstars were counted out. That was not the end of the story though. The Rock decided to get involved. He wasn't having it and ordered the match to restart as a no disqualification match. Cena went for the AA, but The Miz countered and made it to the apron. But Cena had had a surprise waiting for him. The Rock came up from behind and hit him with a rock bottom, screwing Cena from the title, and The Miz retained. The next night on Raw, Cena confronted The Rock. At this point, the time for talk was over. Cena laid down the challenge for a match, which would see two generations collide. The Rock hit back, issuing a challenge for them to face off on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. Challenge accepted. With a handshake, history was made, setting up a WrestleMania main event a whole year in advance, which had never been done before. There was no better place to settle it than at WrestleMania. On May the 2nd, 2011, The Rock held a birthday celebration on Raw in his hometown of Miami. Rocky was celebrating with Mae Young, but was interrupted by Cena, who brought The Rock a birthday present, the WWE Championship, saying that he intended to keep it until WrestleMania, which would make their match the biggest in WrestleMania history. We all know by now this didn't happen, but if we're being honest, the match didn't really need the title anyway. At 2011's Vengeance, Cena lost to Alberto Del Rio in a last man standing match after he found himself on the receiving end of an ambush by The Miz and R-Truth, costing him the WWE Championship. The Miz and R-Truth kept up their attacks on Raw, but Big Johnny stepped in to make the save, kicking them out of the ring. He also announced a tag team match at Survivor Series, with Cena picking his own tag team partner. And guess who he chose? The Rock. The next week on Raw, Rocky came to us again via satellite to accept Cena's request, and the match was official: The Rock and John Cena versus Awesome Truth at Survivor Series. The Rock made his in-ring return for the first time since WrestleMania 20 in 2004. The Brahma Bull didn't skip a beat and put on a solid performance. He lined up The Miz and hit him with a people's elbow and made the cover for the win. After the match, The Rock upstaged Cena, who was getting boos from the audience. Cena had enough and walked away, but was hit with a rock bottom to add fuel to the fire. Their feud picked up again in February when The Rock made his return to Raw in a confrontation with Cena, who brought the heat, mentioning how he was a fan of The Rock until he met Dwayne Johnson and called him egotistical, and then took a cheap shot, mentioning The Rock had his promo notes on his wrist. The Rock looked genuinely pissed and didn't even have a chance to fire back, with Cena getting the upper hand and walking away. The following week, Cena came out and explained how he had The Rock shook after the promo the previous week. And let's be honest, The Rock did seem flustered after the script notes promo. You got to admit it at this point, Cena has solid promo work, and this feud really showed how good he actually is. John was definitely feeling confident and seemed to be ahead of The Rock in the build up to the match, but the People's Champ wasn't going to stay silent, delivering a serious response and even throwing in an F-bomb after he dropped the mic. They had genuine heat. Rumor has it that during this time, tensions were running high backstage around WrestleMania season, with both superstars nearly coming to blows. Rock was unhappy about Cena's unscripted promos, and Cena wasn't happy about the finish for the match because he felt he deserved to go over. During the weeks leading up to WrestleMania, we saw segments that seemed like a celebration of both superstars' careers. The Rock treated fans to a rock concert for the first time since 2004, and yet again he poked fun at Cena's lady parts. Not to be upstaged though, Cena went old school, bringing back the Doctor of Thugonomics. He capitalized on the script notes promo again and ended his rap by threatening to put his nuts on The Rock's face at WrestleMania. Was it just me, or did this feud have an odd fixation on genitalia? This brings us to the final Raw before WrestleMania. The two superstars had their last promo battle. Cena made it clear he'd be damned if The Rock came in as a visitor and took his life, so he had to win at WrestleMania. The Rock explained that on a professional level, he'd be the only superstar to defeat Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and John Cena at WrestleMania, but on a personal level, he simply didn't like Cena. Neither of them backed down, and with tensions at an all-time high, there was only one thing left to do. WrestleMania 28, Miami, once in a lifetime. The bell rang and both superstars circled the ring. They finally locked up, with Cena Cena overpowering The Rock and tossing him across the ring. They locked up again, this time with The Rock gaining the upper hand. The match then turned into a back and forth battle, with The Rock sending Cena out of the ring to regroup. Cena then came back taking control, but The Rock wasn't down for long, shifting gears and landing a spine buster. He attempted the people's elbow, but Cena countered going for the STF, but failed. It was time for the 5 moves of doom. Cena hit a 5-knuckle shuffle and then set up for an AA. The Rock countered, showing no signs of ring rust despite his 7-year absence. Eventually, Cena managed to land the AA for a near fall, leaving him in disbelief. He tried again, only to be met with a rock bottom, and again a near fall. The match remained all square throughout the night, but The Rock attempted a crossbody and was caught by Cena, who rolled through and hoisted The Rock to his shoulders for another AA. Yet another near fall. Cena's disbelief turned into overconfidence, and he tried to go for a 5-knuckle shuffle, but instead opted to mock The Rock with a people's elbow instead. This gave Rock a chance to recover, and he hit the rock bottom and secured the victory. The Rock made history, while Cena sat on the ramp questioning his career. This marked the beginning of a dark period for Cena, as he struggled with his confidence following the loss. Despite their differences, they seemed to squash their beef and hugged it out backstage after the match. Cena made it clear on Raw that he accepted the loss, but he wouldn't let it define him. He called The Rock out to the ring, explaining The Rock had earned his respect, and he wanted to tell him that face to face. But instead of The Rock appearing, it was actually Brock Lesnar who showed up. But that wasn't the last chapter in the saga between The Rock and Cena though, and at the 1000th episode of Raw, The Rock interrupted the WWE Champion CM Punk to announce that he would be challenging for the WWE title at the Royal Rumble. Later on in the night, he met with Cena, who was cashing in his Money in the Bank contract that night with the aim of winning the title to face The Rock at the Royal Rumble. He wasn't able to win the match though, and it looked like their paths were never aligned again, but things changed at the Royal Rumble. CM Punk defended his WWE Championship against The Rock, and despite some shenanigans from the Shield, Rocky picked up the win and was crowned the new WWE Champion. On the same night, Cena competed in the Royal Rumble and threw Ryback over the top rope to win the match. He punched his ticket to WrestleMania. The next night on Raw, Cena made his intentions clear, challenging the WWE Champion at WrestleMania 29. His opponent would be decided at the Elimination Chamber, where CM Punk invoked his rematch clause but couldn't pick up the win against The Rock. It seemed like the stars aligned for twice in a lifetime, but things are not always that easy. The next night on Raw, Cena announced that he was going to face The Rock at WrestleMania, but he was interrupted by CM Punk, who claimed Cena didn't deserve to be in the main event of WrestleMania. Cena responded by giving Punk a lifeline. A match between them was set for the following week on Raw, with the winner earning the right to face The Rock at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. CM Punk couldn't beat Cena on the night though, and it was set at WrestleMania. It would be John Cena versus The Rock for the WWE Championship twice in a lifetime. Throughout the build-up for their Mania match, Cena couldn't help but think about how the first match had completely ruined his life. He was dead set on winning this time, and it was eating away at him as the biggest screw up of his career. Sure, Cena had done a lot, but the one thing he hadn't managed to do was get the win over the Great One. Later on, they took part in a Legends Q&A with a lineup including Bret the Hitman Hart, the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, Booker T and Mick Foley. The Rock kept attacking Cena's confidence, reminding him of his defeat, but this time Cena was calm. There was a different vibe about him. Things got intense though, and when Cena attempted an AA, The Rock countered with a rock bottom. It looked like no matter what Cena tried, The Rock always had a response. Despite this, they both stayed strong, with Rocky making the message clear. He kept saying he was going to kick Cena's ass at WrestleMania, but Cena stayed strong. He was on the law of attraction vibes, and there was only one roadblock on his road to redemption, and we'd get the answer at WrestleMania as to who was the best out of these two. At WrestleMania 29, things were different. moment. Cena was laser focused. They were both evenly matched. Cena attempted a shoulder tackle but missed, and tried to set up for a 5-knuckle shuffle, but The Rock countered with an arm drag. The Rock then had some success with a sharpshooter, but couldn't hold on, and soon found himself on the receiving end of a 5-knuckle shuffle, which he countered. The match was impossible to predict, with both men hitting their finishers and getting near falls. Cena eventually hit The Rock bottom, but it was another near fall. With the upper hand, he went for a 5-knuckle shuffle, but paused and decided to attempt the people's elbow again. This time, when The Rock countered, Cena stopped at the ropes. Determined not to repeat his past mistake, he got The Rock in position for an 8A, and it was countered into a rock bottom, resulting in yet another near fall. The match finally ended when The Rock went for a rock bottom, but Cena countered into an 8A to make the cover to become the new WWE champion. After the match, Cena remained in the ring, and he had a private conversation with the Great One. We didn't know exactly what they said to each other until recently. When Cena disclosed, I actually told him that he had taken a picture with me when I was an employee at Gold's Gym back in the year 2000, when The Rock was like meteoric, and he didn't need to pay attention to anyone, apart from people who could possibly do things for him. He is this low-level employee at Gold's Gym, wowed by an unbelievable personality of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I went up to him and asked him, "Rock, is it okay if we can get a picture together?" And he gave me the picture. He gave me some advice on how to further my career, and he didn't have to do any of that. And now, being in the return seat, I understand truly how valuable his time was and how much it meant to me as a person. And I held him close and I said, "You're never going to remember this, but you took a picture with me in 2000. It helped me to stand here today, and if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here today." And then I thanked him very much for all he has done for the industry, all he has done for me, and we went backstage and had a shot together in celebration. Following this, Cena left the ring, giving The Rock the spotlight, but that's not how things typically work in the business. Rock walked up the ramp and raised Cena's hand, symbolically passing the torch to him, much like Hogan had done for The Rock years before. It's important to note that The Rock was injured around the midway point of the match. He tore his abdomen and adductor muscles off the bone and needed surgery. Despite this, he continued the match. In a way, I guess this was a silver lining. After accomplishing it all in Hollywood, he found himself hurt in the squared circle but finished the match. They call him the people's champion for a reason, and his love for the business was shown that night. The plan was for him to come out the next night on Raw and set up a feud with Brock Lesnar that would lead to a match at WrestleMania 30, but sadly that's something we didn't get to see and will always remain a what if. Without a doubt, the animosity had gone by the time WrestleMania 29 came to an end. They both shared a heartfelt moment backstage, and from then on the two became good friends. Both have admitted in later interviews that their rivalry was real, and they eventually formed a strong bond. In recent years, Cena has followed in The Rock's footsteps, finding success in Hollywood while remaining a special attraction for WWE. One thing's for sure though, these two are among the greatest superstars to ever step foot in the ring, and we were truly fortunate to witness them face off not just once, but twice on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. Thanks for watching this video. If you made it to the end, I just want to say a massive thank you. Your support keeps me going. If you enjoyed the video, then hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more wrestling content right here on Wrestling Real.